massive thank you to Juice, Nicholas, S2K, Nightstrike and Craig for subscribing to the channel. If you're not already featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we'll return with round 19 of Season 5 of our F122 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend, ready for the Mexican GP. If you missed out on the last race from Cota, I would highly recommend going back and checking out 4 races to go of this season, and safe to say the title fight at the front is really heating up there. 5 points separate Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc as we head into the final 4. Sadly for us, yeah, Cota last time out, it hasn't mathematically knocked us out of the championship, but all hope has been well and truly lost once again in this series there. I think now all we've really got to do is try and help Charles Leclerc as best as possible there, and also, of course, focus on bringing the team some glory as well come the end of the season. You can see my run of form this year has been mixed, very mixed up to this point, but 4 races to go. I want to try and get a couple more wins on the board if possible as well. But yeah, Mexico this weekend often has delivered quite an interesting race before. Hopefully that will continue this weekend. Get yourself subscribed if you're new, and let's do this thing. Right, well, immediately jumping into Q2. Don't often showcase qualifying 2s, but as you can see, we're all heading out onto the circuit right at the start of the session, because the rain is meant to be arriving. This has got the opportunity to mix things up a bit, so in case we get any crazy shenanigans, I thought we'd better just showcase. I tell you what, this rain is very sketchy here in Mexico, so we're only really going to get one shot of this. We have to make it count here as we round out of the final corner. Charles Leclerc luckily has come out as well, so DRS now has been disabled, so this is really going to be nip and tuck then. Whether it was going to be worth coming out on the dries, or gambling on a set of intermediates and hoping that the rain continues to fall before any of us can get a good representative. Really tiptoe our way through the S's here, but luckily it does feel like the soft compound tyres are still providing us with ample amounts of grip. One more sector to go, and this is easily going to be the biggest trouble there, as I can see Pierre Gasly's come out of the pit lane. Mercedes still on a set of soft compound tyres, so clearly don't believe the track is too wet too quickly as rounding through the final couple of turns. Got no idea what a good lap time is going to be here, but we'll really base it on what Lando Norris is able to do behind us. 18.777 for ourselves there. Lando Norris goes second. That might be us safely through then immediately. And there we go then, Q2 was less dramatic than we originally thought there. Making it through, so did Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc there, so top 3 in the championship. Top 3 in those positions. All the wrong way round, of course. Alex Albon making it through in his Williams. That's very good by him. And again, both of those Alpha Tauri's squeezing by, as well as Esteban Ocon, the only car on Inters to make it through. Let's see who can get pole then here in Mexico City. Well, the rain has continued to fall then as we jump into Q3. I always was worried that the track was just going to get worse and worse. Will this really hinder us then around this circuit? Of course, we know what the AI can be like in the mixed conditions. I've got a couple of little announcements as well to do as we jump into today's video. Be looking at the community tab over the next week or so. I'm going to be putting up some polls as to what engine provider you want us to be using for Season 6, and who our final teammate is going to be in the F122 career modes as well. I'm going to be running a shortened 16 race calendar for the final season, just deleting the tracks that I don't enjoy as much, or the ones that are a little bit broken. But yeah, really am looking forward to it. The final season, the last dance in this My Team series. Of course, Season 5 we haven't quite had the luck, but Season 6 I'm hoping we can finish this game on a high there. Charles Leclerc sets the benchmark on a 25.3. The other little announcement is make sure you go and follow my Twitch. I've been plugging it a little bit around the place in recent days. On the day this video is going to be going live, I'm going to be live streaming tonight from probably around 7 PM UK time, so about 5 hours after this video has gone live. We're going to be doing some iRacing, and then tomorrow night I've got a WOR League race, and then I'm going to do some F122 Open lobbies for about an hour or so after that. So yeah, make sure you get yourself following over on Twitch. We're almost at 1,500 followers already. I'll make sure I leave a link down in the description below. But yeah, really looking forward to finally being able to do some Twitch streams as well, and start finally being able to do some more stuff with you guys. But out of the final corner then, what is the first time going to be on the board? 24.6 immediately. We rocket to the top, and luckily I've fueled the car up, so we can go for more than one run. And as F122 likes to do, I've been sent out on a set of full work compound tyres for my second run. So I don't think we're going to be able to improve. I'm going to have to go for it. But yeah, that has kind of screwed me. This game always does this weird thing where it tells you to switch to the correct tyre compound. And it's really difficult to get around it. Just I find the way it's worded is very weird. And that's not going to do us any favours. Just about kept it out of the wall. But yeah, it doesn't look like anyone else is heading back out into the circuit either. Apart from one of the Alpha Towers there. So I think we've done enough anyway. I think the track's getting worse and worse. So I've accidentally gone pole there on what was really more of a data gathering lap. F122 for you. There we are then, a very, very mixed up grid at the end of qualifying then. 6 cars from 6 different teams making up the top 6 there, but we are on pole for the Mexican Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly in Mercedes alongside us ahead of Lando Norris and Esteban Ocon. So I think the goal today is try and make sure that we outscore Lando Norris, but could he retake the lead of the Drivers' Championship? We are really watching that battle quite closely.
It's time then for the Mexico City Grand Prix, a race which gave Honda their first ever victory back in 1965. American Richie Ginther winning from 3rd on the grid. Red Bull have been strong here in recent seasons, but can they keep that record going today? At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners then make a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking into the braking zones of Turn 1 and Turn 4. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Mr. Monaco lines up on pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Ocon, Lance Stroll and Bottas, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri and Alex Albon, Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, Sergio Perez and Deruvala, Drugovich, Yuri Vips, Nicholas Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou, Schwartzman, Ticktum, Théo Pourchaire and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Right, here we are then, lining up on the grid, Mexican GP, 4 races to go of the campaign, and okay, the team reckon the 1 stop is viable then, softs to mediums. Often this race has been a 2 stop in years gone by, but of course, yeah, the tyre wear's so good on these maxed out cars on F122. Still have had no confirmation of any rule changes going into the final season, so waiting with bated breath to see if that's going to be the case, but softs to mediums then. I mean, we've got a couple of fresh sets of softs, and looks like there are some split strategies then. Myself, Norris and Ocon on the softs, Gasly and Stroll on the mediums. That is interesting to see how that's going to pan out. Call me stupid as much as you like, but 4 races... Okay, you definitely can call me stupid as much as you like. 4 races to go of this campaign. Now, I know the championship is pretty much out of the question, but I would love to go into Abu Dhabi still with an outside chance at, you know, being within those 25 points of either Charles or Lando there. I think they got, what, 62 and 57 with 4 races to go. Of course, we have got that sprint in Brazil as well, which should bring us a little bit closer. But, yeah, waiting on Magnussen then at the rear of the field. Let's see what we can do. Can we get a good start on the huge run down towards Turn 1 here in Mexico? Let's try and get a nice clean getaway then. Need about 9,500 RPM, I reckon. 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go. It's actually worked! I've got a decent start there. Lando Norris has done well on the outside there, but of course Pierre Gasly was on the medium compound tyres. You saw Gasly and I both trying to go to the inside at the same time there. Ocon kind of trying to look around the outside, and I have fired it in there on Lando Norris. That was never actually the intent. In fact, I think I'll give him back the place through Turn 2. Completely, yeah, just wanted to stay ahead of Ocon there, and Norris broke a little bit earlier than I was expecting, so got to race hard against our championship rivals, but, you know, within reason as well, of course, at the end of the day. As you can see, Bottas already, where's he come from? Already trying to have a look for P3 in this GP. Then not has been the most successful year between him and his new partnership over at Red Bull, and can't even get around the driver that's taking his seat back at McLaren there as we head our way in through Sector 2. Lando Norris just trying to break free as early as possible. Of course, I'm sure he'd love to take the win this weekend, but this is what I need to be doing now. Acting as Charles Leclerc's rear gunner where possible, and also making sure that we're snookering points away from Lando Norris as well. As Purple through the middle sector on this open lap. We have survived the start. We've done pretty well. Let's see if we can try and get a nice run out the final corner, but I'm worried again, a bit like Kota, that we're not going to quite have the same top-end speed as the AI there. Just 4/10 the gap as we cross the start-finish line. Lando Norris, though, despite the fact we're using ERS, the gap's staying level, and now he's probably going to pull away, which he does. Well, DRS now enabled then, but yeah, set fastest lap then. Esteban Ocon behind us going even quicker, so clearly McLaren are suiting this very, very high-speed circuit in Mexico. Of course, does often in real life deliver some weird and wonderful racing just due to the lack of air pressure, but Esteban Ocon does not want to let Lando Norris and I break free early. Right, first time then with the DRS. Let's see what we can do against Lando Norris. Are we going to have a much better run on him as we head back down towards turn 1 there? Esteban Ocon still within the 1 second zone behind us as Yuki Tsunoda has worked his way up to P5 there. We are gaining in on Lando, but still nowhere near enough. Unless we want to go for another dive bomb at T1, but Charles Leclerc has fallen back down to 8th at the start of this race. Can we try and get a run up towards turn 4 then on Lando? Sometimes the AI are a bit weaker down this straight because they've used too much battery. Well, he brakes early, he sees us on the inside there as we get to the end of the straight, and will just squeeze me out, apparently. Still side by side as we head now in through the next couple of... That was always bound to happen, wasn't it? F122's traction model, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to love it. And now, Charles Leclerc's going to get back up to 7th, and I'm down into 10th. Oh, I hope F123 is better. I really do. Just the lack of feel of what the rear of the car's doing on this game is so difficult to judge still. We're probably going to struggle to get around Albon. I can't sit behind Albon all afternoon. Oh, no contact. Somehow. That was one of the most audacious dives I've done on F122 there. And you can see Albon went for the apex, spotted me coming in like an absolute steam engine, jumped out of the way, and, well, I guess psychologically he's buried. As said though, medium compound tyres through this middle sector definitely don't provide the same sort of grip still early on this afternoon, all over the back of Oscar Piastri, and I wonder if we'll still have an advantage through the final sector as well, to the inside of my former teammate, and we'll make another place then. Back up into P8, so now we've got a difficult one on Charlie Boy. I feel like we can make more of an impact early on this afternoon. He is on the risk-averse strategy, so we might try and find a way around him. Oh, Charles, they're just going a bit defensive in towards the middle sector. This is not the kind of pressure I wanted to be applying to him. I want to try and get around him. Most, of course, priority is without contact. Second biggest priority is that we don't lose him any time either, but might not be as easy as I had once thought. Can we go for a similar move to what we did on Oscar Piastri? Yes, we can. And again, we'll just slide in there. Up now into 7th place of this Grand Prix. Yeah, really, we should be getting around all these medium runners. They are much, much slower tyres early on. Come on then, Sir Lance. Let's see what you've got in terms of defending then to the inside of the Alpine. That was... I mean, we're going for some big dive bombs today, but we're making them work. And I don't think we've had contact with anyone yet. So, I guess, don't fix what ain't broke, kind of? Let me know down in the comments below. And can we go... Whoa. No, we can't go 3 for 3 with moves down at the hairpin then. That time around getting a little bit too squirrely. Almost finding ourselves pointing the wrong way again in this Grand Prix. They're trying to get a run on Gasly at the final turn, but I think we're going to struggle there. It's more likely he's going to apply Tsunoda with some pressure. Gaining a second lap on Stroll though, so hopefully I've left him vulnerable to Charles behind there, as here we go. Yuki Tsunoda go defensive on his former teammate there, but look at how aggressive Yuki is on this game. But will we now see Pierre get a run on his former AlphaTauri teammate? Again, Yuki Tsunoda moving around late in the braking zone. That's going to send Gasly offline now, and we might be able to get around him. And look at that, clean around the outside will go, just like keeping those right-hand side wheels inside track limits. Now, team warning us about tyre life. Right, let's see if we can go for a move. The same place we did on his teammate and my teammate just a couple of laps ago. Again, not quite getting the run. The AlphaTauri car there, I think, was momentarily a little bit scared that I'd go for it. Probably has been informed by the team. That's what I'm doing. Ooh, okay. Esteban Ocon there with issues early on in this afternoon's running, but can we try and get around the AlphaTauri car? That's kind of the biggest focus at the moment. 4 seconds at the road. Valtteri Bottas in this GP, so we're going to have to pretty much drain the battery on the run back down towards someone. Don't want it going below 5%. Just look at Tsunoda moving around in the braking zone there, trying to open up the run, but we'll read him like a book. We'll swoop round him, and we're back into P4 then. Let's try and close up on Ocon and Bottas. Yeah, Ocon definitely struggling though, getting 2 seconds out of him and Bottas on that last lap alone, as Bottas now will swoop up into P2. So Lando Norris then, he came under a bit of pressure from me early on. That's a lot of curb. But yeah, now he's just sitting pretty at the front. Ocon incredibly slow in through the final sector. Apparently I'm still can't keep the back end in check. I've only done about 118 races in this series up to now, and yeah, still struggling with the traction on F122 there. But can we try and get a run on the Frenchman as we head back down towards turn 1? Like I said, he is in a wounded car at the moment. Don't know if it's a technical gremlin or what's going on inside that McLaren car, but again, the AI, why are they so aggressive defending in towards turn 1 there? And excuse the voice break. Well, I think we have honestly done a very good job looking after the tyres. Mark wants us in the end of this one, but yeah, we've taken another second out of Bottas on this lap, as Ocon now is going to face the wrath of Pierre Gasly. But yeah, we're just hitting our marks, doing our thing at this stage of the afternoon. Don't want to run into the back of Valtteri Bottas as best as I can avoid it, but I feel like the tyres as well have hung on in there quite nicely, so I'm going to try and extend the stint. But when are Bottas and Norris going to box? There we go. Valtteri Bottas into the pit lane then. Lando Norris opting to stay on yet another one. So don't really want to use that curb, to be honest. It's just shake your wrists a bit. But yeah, look at that tyre, it's alright. So we're doing okay. But let's see if we can try and continue closing in on Lando. We probably now will start seeing the mediums being the quicker tyre. There we go, Lando Norris into the pit lane as well then, so we are going to try and extend just one extra lap. Will box pit confirm. Hopefully Charles isn't planning on pitting at the end of this one as well. So Lando Norris, don't know if he's going to come out in clear air. I think he might get caught in a little bit of traffic, but we've just got to see if we can do a good in lap. Heading in towards the final corner then. Almost forgot that I need to pit at the end of this lap, but just about remembered. Get the car slowed down, 41 miles an hour on pit entry then. And now we just need a nice, clean, tidy stop. All the medium runners are going to be staying out a little bit longer in this race, as you would come to expect. They'll probably half and half it, I would have thought, mediums over onto the hards. But yeah, we got 22 laps on this set of the medium compound tyres. It's not going to be easy getting through to the end of the race, as Norris trying to pull off a move on Dan Ticktum hasn't pulled that off. We are still though battling Valtteri Bottas, who aggressively tries to cut across my nose on pit exit there. Wanted to make it very clear he's still in net P2, so now we've got to try and get some heat.
There appears to be an issue.
No, don't do this, come on. We've had a few races without engine failures, F122. Don't, please, EA. Someone else is breaking down up the road. Sergio Perez out of his home Grand Prix. Haven't seen much of him. And I'm going to join him. Where is Sergio? Well, we may as well park up right next to him, mightn't we? I love F122. And, of course, it's not even going to let me park there. Love this game. Thank you very much, EA, as always. And they've got a safety car. And, yeah. Should I expect any different? I'm not convinced I should. Come on, what's it doing? It's literally blocking half the AI. Deary me. I'm meant to be one of them. Just let me park. Well, I can't even help Charles today against Lando Norris. But yeah, I'm not too surprised, to be completely honest.
Brilliant stuff from McLaren today. What a superb victory. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one.
As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Well, that lead at the top has somewhat shrunk today. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Guan Yu Zhou is my driver of the day. I was impressed by his strong performance throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Well, there we are then, the end of the Mexican GP, and somehow, I think the game might have broke itself there. Esteban Ocon takes the win ahead of Zhou Guan Yu, despite the McLaren there starting from P18. Daniel Ricciardo comes through for P3 in his Ferrari. They're probably his last ever Formula 1 podium. Yuri Vips just misses out in his Williams. They're ahead of Felipe Drugovich in the Haas car there, and Alex Albon makes it a double Williams points haul. Magnussen takes 6 points home for Aston Martin. Lando Norris somehow finished 8th there, almost a lap down, with Schwartzman picking up points for Alfa Romeo and Stroll rounding out the top 10 there. Charles Leclerc unable to score, means that Lando Norris has continued to bring down that gap in the championship there, but yeah, I've got no real clue as to what on earth has gone on with the final results there. But Checo and I both breaking down at pretty much the same time in this Grand Prix was not very fun for either of us there. Championship-wise, 1 point now between Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc at the top of the table. Ocon now re-jumps Perez into P4 overall with, I think that's McLaren's first win of their campaign, but still, both McLarens, both Red Bulls and Daniel Ricciardo in that very, very big battle still for P4 overall in the championship. I think, though, with that result, we haven't quite mathematically guaranteed ourselves P3 yet in the Drivers' Championship, but it does all but confirm it when these guys keep taking points away from each other there. Felipe Drugovich jumps Albon and Tsunoda in the Drivers' Championship, and Magnussen, despite Aston Martin having by far and away the worst car this year, he has now jumped Nicolas Latifi in the Mercedes. Robert Schwartzman scores his first points there ahead of Dan Tickton, which just leaves Porsche the only car yet to score this season. McLaren re-jump Red Bull in their Constructors' battle for P3 as well, so it is all kicking off late on in this season. But thank you all so much for watching this video. That also basically guarantees Aston Martin are going to outfinish Alfa Romeo there, despite the fact Alfa Romeo had, what, the third, fourth fastest car heading into this campaign? But yeah, we will be back next time out then, I guess, for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we will hopefully see if we can make it to the end of another Formula 1 race. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.